Alright guys, so in this step we've got our tumbler that we had from the last step with our tape. In this step you need a shrink wrap sleeve. You also need a heat gun, and you need your oven. I have my oven preheating to roughly 375, 365, somewhere in that range. Also, you're going to need a set of gloves so you don't burn yourself. So what I do is, first off, let's take the tumbler and put it in the sleeve. I'm going to slide it until you have some on one side and some free on the other side. You want it pretty much in the middle. From there, I take my glove and I hold onto the tumbler because it gets a little hot. You take your heat gun and you're going to slowly work yourself back and forth to get it to shrink to the tumbler. There we go. Back and forth, and once it starts getting hot enough, it's going to start shrinking. When it shrinks, it's going to be really ugly at the beginning, but it's going to get better. Take it, shrink, and as it starts shrinking, start moving it around. Don't worry about it, it's ugly looking at the beginning because it's going to get better as you keep going around. As it tightens up, it's going to get a little better every time you go back and forth. And it gets hot as it goes. Now, the end, you can start seeing that it's kind of forming to the bottom. What I do is I kind of seal it in like so. So the bottom ends up like that. Do the same thing for the top. All sealed. And you just basically want to go back and forth, kind of getting the bubbles out, making sure it's nice and shrink wrapped to your base, your tumbler. It also kind of helps the bottom if it's not perfectly flat. Like you see this one's not perfectly flat. When you stand it up, you want it to be able to sit. So what I do is I kind of heat it up and I put it on something flat. That kind of flattens it out. So, all right. Check your progress. Remember, it's a little warm. And as you feel around it, you shouldn't feel any movement of your shrink wrap. Our our convection oven is right at 370, a little over 375 right now. So what I'm going to do, I've got a iPad that I'm going to set a timer for 4 minutes. All right, so that it's in there for 4 minutes. What we're going to do is we're going to wait the 2 minutes, and then we're going to, on mine, I get a little hot spot on the right side, and it seems to burn if it sits there. So I'll leave it there for a couple of minutes, and then I'm going to turn it 180 degrees. So we'll do the awkward pause waiting for the 2 minutes. Check your temperature. Got about 1 minute and 16 seconds before we spin it. By the way, while we're at this awkward pause, why don't you hit that like button and the subscribe underneath. There will be more videos coming from Mad. And of course, appreciate the support. you're going to start seeing at the end, you're going to start seeing your image kind of show through the shrink wrap, and that's when you know you're starting to get close to being done. About 1 minute and 20 seconds in. Still sitting at 375. Also, you want an oven thermometer inside of your oven because the thermostats don't really show what it needs to. You can have a difference of temperature 25-30 degrees. Alright, we're almost to the 2-minute mark. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spin her 180. Alright. She's turned 180 degrees. We'll leave her there for the last 2 minutes. And depending on how the ink shows through the shrink wrap, if you don't really see it, you can let it go for a little longer. Another 20 or 30 seconds, not very much longer. A minute and 20 seconds left. If you start looking at it from here, you should start seeing your ink starting to show through. At this point, I'm not seeing the ink showing through, so that just tells me we've got some more time to go. 1 more minute left. And now I'm starting to see the ink showing through. When I get it out, I'll show you what I mean by the ink showing through. About another 30 seconds. And hopefully it comes out right, so I don't have to remake this video. If it doesn't, it'll end up on the Happy Accidents group on Facebook. 10 seconds. Alright, that's 4 minutes. Let's take it and see what she looks like. I'm going to let it go another 10 or 15 seconds. Now when you pull it out of top, remember, it's been in the oven, right? So you can see, if you look closely, you can see the ink through your shrink wrap. So if all went well, we should have a properly done tumbler. Remember, it's hot. You can feel it through the glove. Let me bring you in so you can see, and please excuse my messy shop. These shrink wraps that I have the peel away, but for the life of me, the peel away never works. If you have a better way of unwrapping, leave them in the comments below. get the shrink wrap off, it's a very awkward trying to do that. Awkward way of trying to do that. Because of the way we taped it, you should be able to just pull it out like so. And then this bottom piece, get that guy off. Find your end. Pull that tape off. And then the big reveal, right? So if all went well, we should be happy after this, and we can do a happy dance, right? And wow, oh wow. Still a little warm, but you see the bottom seam is perfect. This one didn't really have a top seam, but you can see the words came out. The words came out perfect. The colors came out right. And because of the way we had that seam really didn't have an overlap, we ended up not having anything crazy. So, all right, well, there you go. That's how you do a tumbler. Next video I will do a little tutorial about how to do the designs and how to get them printed out for a tapered tumbler. Cool deal. Thanks guys, thanks for watching. As always, like, share, subscribe, and see you next time. Thanks.